In this video, what we're going to be doing is covering how to use futures, decentralized futures. Often you will find you will need to gain access to decentralized futures in order to trade them, because in most countries on earth, they're becoming more highly restricted by the day. Obviously, decentralized finance gives you access to these things without borders. So this is a fantastic way of getting access to these products. Remember, they are highly speculative products, very dangerous if you don't know how to use them correctly. Just please don't take this as a promotion of them at all unless you're an expert. But I know people will want to use them anyway for different things, including different portfolios that we run. So as a tool, you still need to know how to use them. So let's get into that now. The two major ones that you're going to need to learn how to use are GMX and Quenta. Both of them are fairly straightforward. GMX is definitely the easiest one. It is very, very, very simple. It only has a couple of assets, but the platform is fantastically user-friendly. It's amazing. Quenta is a little harder to use, and it has a whole bunch of extra assets. It's a bit more complicated. We'll be covering that one second, but we'll do GMX first. So let's launch the app. We've got our MetaMask, and it's on the Ethereum network, and we can look over here and see that the only two networks that GMX supports is Arbitrum and Avalanche. Now, the reason why it doesn't support networks like Ethereum is because when you're trading on a network, on a platform like GMX, we're doing lots of trades, which means that we don't want to pay lots of fees. Now, the fees are very low on Arbitrum and Avalanche. I love Arbitrum, so we're going to use Arbitrum. So I press the button, Arbitrum. When I go to try and connect my wallet, it'll say your wallet's not connected to Arbitrum. We'll change that. Boom, fantastic. As you can see, we have basically nothing in here except a tiny little bit of Ethereum, which is no use to anybody. Connect the wallet, and I click that, and of course the wallet comes up. Now it's connected to Arbitrum on both ends here, fantastic. As you can see though, we don't have any Ethereum. So what did I tell you to do before? We need to move some Ethereum into our Arbitrum wallet on MetaMask in order to trade and of course pay for the positions and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to multi-chain bridge and move some Ethereum into Arbitrum. Now we have the Ethereum on the Arbitrum MetaMask, bridged it over, everything worked out perfectly. So now we're going to go into GMX and place some trades. This video is completely unscripted, so you're going to see my my raw reactions and everything. Let's say we want to buy this position. We want to long this. Now, what we have some Ethereum. Now, we can use Ethereum as our collateral in order to go long. However, as you guys know, I like to use stablecoin margins so that we don't get fucked over by our margin collateral issues with, coin collateralized positions where we have margin issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert all of this Ethereum into tethers. I'm going to swap that, get that swapped. Arbitrum is very cheap. It knows 18 cents to perform a transaction. Fantastic. So now we have all of our required, yes, excellent. We have some ETH left over. Beautiful. Because I accidentally didn't leave enough ETH there in the transaction. But anyway, we have USDT now that we can use as our margin, and we want to say long $100 worth of BTC. So we'll go 100. And of course, we can up the leverage as well. Now, 100 is going to be the margin that we commit to our position. Now, if we wanted to go 10x long, let's see how close we can get it to 10x. I'm going to go 10x long. You can see here that where does it gives us the 10x there. Fantastic, beautiful. And then it gives us a nominal exposure of almost 10x, which is 1,000 USD. Enable leverage. It asks us for a permission, which costs 6 cents. One pending transaction. Confirm. Yes. Push them through. Approve the USDT for trading. There's a lot of approvals. Luckily, the Arbitrum network is very cheap. Prove it. Yes, beautiful. Push it through. Okay, fantastic. Everything's approved. Leverage is approved. Our margin has been approved. The position is good to go. We can still change the leverage up to the last moment. Obviously, we get 50x, but our liquidation is going to be incredibly close to the current price. We're going to go 2x because that is what is reasonable and responsible. So we're going to go long BTC. Ready to go. Allowed slippage. Fantastic. Everything's good to go. Easy. Easy. Boom. And then from there, we'll be able to place orders and we will be able to go take profit, stop loss, things like this. Okay, fantastic. So now the order has gone through. We have our BTC 2x position. We have our net value. and the size. The net value, I believe that is the value of the collateral on the position, and the size is the nominal exposure. The collateral here as well. Entry price, mark price, liquidation price, fantastic. We can share the position if you want to share your wins, which is pretty cool if you want to do that as well. Now we can place other orders. So obviously the reverse of a long position, which is a buy, is a sell. Right, so GMX, unlike most exchanges, it has a multi-tiered closing system. So you set your take profits and stop losses through the close mechanism. So the button here looks like it is on Kraken, where it would just be a one-click close, but that's actually not how it operates. So if you click on that, you will get a market option, which is as it would describe, it closes the entire position. You can close or partial positions. If you just want to go down to 1x leverage, you can do that. Or you can hit max and close the entire position. Or alternatively, you can use the trigger condition. So what do we want to do? We want to close the entire position at price BTC 32,000. That would be, yes, gives a bit of a thing, except that orders may not work properly under all market conditions. Of course, this is because decentralized futures is not an exact, I wouldn't say an exact science necessarily. That's probably the wrong word for it. Order submitted. View status. You can do this or for any type of transaction that you like, by the way. If you're ever wanting to watch the progress of the status of an order, you can always open up the blockchain explorer for the network that you're on. It's not always necessary, but you can do that. Okay, so here it goes. It's finally gone through. Open up the orders tab. You can see we have a trigger, decrease BTC long by the full amount, price 3,200 or approximately whatever that is. And that is the take profit position. And of course, if we want to make a stop loss position, we can also do that as well. Close the entire amount at the required price level, pay the fees. It's going to ask to create the order, 19 cents. Yes. Order submitted, order created, and that should come through. Yes. Fantastic. So now we have the take profit and the stop loss levels. Note how they are not on the chart, which is kind of annoying, unlike a centralized exchange. However, that's okay. You can still draw things on the chart if you absolutely need to. Open up the little thing here. Place your long and short positions and place your levels like so, if that helps you keep track of what you're doing, which it would for me personally, but we're just going to remove that. So that is effectively how you do a futures position on GMX. Obviously, everything is the reverse for a short position, which should be easy enough. You can go market close this, and I believe that it should also close the other orders, but we'll just double check that. So we're going to market close our futures position for ease of explanation. You can see down here in the left-hand corner, it's thinking, and it'll close in a moment, and then we'll move to Quenta. Okay, so it's closed that. We have clearly 2 unsupported orders in here that need to be closed the hard way, so we'll cancel those as well. Pending order, whatever, force it through. Notice how I have quite a nonchalant approach to interacting with the blockchain. It's very much a case of just smash the buttons, force it through. It's because I know that the exchanges that I'm working on are the real deal. Often, if you're working with unusual exchanges, you need to double check whether or not they're the real deal. I've been using GMX. I've used GMX a lot, so I'm very confident in how the blockchain interacts with it and everything. Okay, obviously, same deal. If you wanted to short, you must select your direction. Go max whatever the collateral is that you want to use. Same. You know what it is. I'm not going to explain that to you. This is just how to use GMX. And for Quenta, we'll move on to Quenta, and that uses a different network. So I'll just take a quick break and I'll come back. What I did is I bridged all of my Ethereum over to the Optimism network. You might be asking why? Well, it's because when we go onto Quenta and we load up the Quenta dashboard, connect our wallet, you will find that Quenta operates on the Optimism network. This means we can't use any other network. We must use Optimism. It's a roll-up just like Arbitrum, which means that transactions on this network are very cheap. Now, I've got $240 worth of Ethereum here, and you will see that we are not able to trade anything until we get some SUSD. This is because it uses the Synth network. So, bridge and swap. We already have some Ethereum. So we should be able to get our Ethereum and move it into SUSD. Let's have a look at what we can transfer over. Best quote. It will help us figure this out. $12. It doesn't seem right. Should be able to afford a little bit more than that. Was it 0. Let's have a try at 0.1. Nothing not balanced. I'll be back in just a second. I'll refresh this and make sure it's all working. So what the problem with that was is that I actually had the Optimism network connected to the wrong wallet. So what I did is I disconnected the wrong wallet, and now I'm going to reconnect with the correct wallet. See here now it's asking me to check everything again. Fantastic. Let's try this again. Okay, beautiful. 0.1 Ethereum. We won't use all of our ETH. That will give us about 190 SUSD, which is the currency that we require in order to transact on Quenta. So we will approve this. What I want to do, just while that is approving, is show you why we would want to look at Quenta relative to GMX. Now, this is something quick that I didn't look at before. And that's that when you're using Quenta, you have access to a whole bunch of different markets that you don't get on GMX. On GMX, you only get access to a couple of different assets. I'll show you. So you can see here on Quenta that we have a massively long list of assets to choose from. Whereas on GMX, when we go to launch the app, you will see that we only have 4 to choose from: Ethereum, Bitcoin, Link, and Uni. Whereas with Quenta, we have a huge list of them. That's the reason why you may potentially want to use Quenta. Let's try that transaction one more time. So now we have $190 of SUSD in our Optimism wallet. That would probably show up if I did the whole refreshing thing, but of course we don't need to do that. What do we want to trade? Why not gold? That's a weird asset that we can't normally get, so why not? Let's look at that. So what do we want to do? We want to market buy our futures position. How much margin do we want to use? Minimum $50. Let's use $100 of our margin, and let's do a 5x long on gold. So the nominal size will be obviously 5x of our margin, which is $500. Stop loss and take profit levels. Interesting. Conditional orders are an experimental feature. Beautiful. Love it. We want to stop loss 100% of our... Where do we want our stop loss to be? Below this wick here would be nice. Just for randomly, 1919. And our take profit, where do we want that to be? 1937. Okay, looks good to me. Open position. What is smart margin? Looks like we need to perform some additional transactions. This is good because you and I are learning this at the same time. And thankfully, the Optimism network is reasonably fast, so we shouldn't need to wait for a huge, incredibly long period of time. However, this is a little bit annoying. Approve the contract to spend the SUSD, which makes sense. Everything layer 1, layer 2. Okay, send those through. Long XAU, which is gold. Leverage 5x. Liquidation price, nice. Margin, yes. Excellent. Fill price, total fee, confirm long. Let's go. Place that position. Network is busy, no problem, because it looks like gas is free, which of course probably isn't the case. It's probably, MetaMask is probably just having a hard time detecting what gas is required. Says the status is pending. Obviously the order is getting filled right now. You can see how the entry is below the current price. It's normal when it comes to futures because obviously you have to pay a spread. So we have our long gold position with a notional size of $500, which is 5x on our $100 of margin, which makes perfect sense, with a profit and stop loss level, which will reduce our position to 0 because it's a 100% position on either end. I don't like how this is squished up. This platform is very annoying in the way it's scaled. But anyway, that's how you use Quenta. And of course, if you were to do a short, it would be the same thing, just in a different direction. And you can use whatever market and asset you like. The principles are fairly simple. Same as before, if you want to close them, it seems like the orders you can you modify them? No, but you can cancel them. So that's unfortunate. But anyway, you want to close the position, you can press the close button, close the whole goddamn thing, and then it will ask you for the submission, press the button, send it through, and then after a second or two, it will close that position. Obviously, everything happens faster on a centralized exchange because they don't have to work through the blockchain network. But of course, centralized exchanges can be very dangerous because you don't know whether the company is going to take away your money. I'm very paranoid about these things, super paranoid. I don't like anybody touching my shit, which is the reason why I like to use decentralized futures. But you may need to access decentralized futures because your country doesn't allow you access to them. So this has been a very comprehensive overview on how to use all of these systems. Thank you for listening.